The opposite of an island, a lake is a geographical feature of Earth which is water surrounded by land. Lakes are pretty underrated. Yes, even the biggest lakes are minuscule to oceans, but oceans don't come in varied colors or have weird bubbles or have huge amounts of one species you could only find in the ocean. Hold on, let me restart. But oceans, I feel, don't have as much a personality as lakes. But before we head off, this is the seasonality meter. Why is it shaped like Vermont? 2 reasons. 1, Vermont has every season, and 2, Vermont has a nice flat surface to ride along the left. It'll show up briefly every entry, and the higher it gets on it, the more affected it is by seasons. Okay, let's dive in. What I just said about diving in, do not do that for every lake. That is not a good idea, and you'll see why right now. When it boils down to it, New Zealand has the world's largest boiling lake. On North Island, or Te Iki a Maui, there is a lake named after an appliance, although it is aptly named Frypan Lake. So why is it boiling? To put it short, the largest documented volcanic eruption of New Zealand to date occurred, ripping open a volcanic rift. The lake actually reaches a temperature of roughly 49 degrees Celsius, 120 degrees Fahrenheit, or 322 degrees Kelvin on average, which is very distant from bringing water to a boil. It's just a bit steamy. However, this is still probably not the best lake to fall into, as spoiler alert, no other lake on this list is as hot as this one. The boomerang-shaped country of Croatia has a lake, rather several lakes, the Plitvice Lakes, and all of them take up one spot on this list. Each and every lake I'm talking about right now are all connected via small waterfalls. It's like one big ant colony-inspired body of water. And this place is awesome all year long, just as much in winter as in summer. And don't forget fall. It's really cool how everything's interconnected. If a waterfall swim-upping fish wanted to, it could get from here to there. Somehow I missed these islands when I researched the island video. Jellyfish Lake Island, Palau, and Kakaban Island, Indonesia, both sharing the same trait. On 2 of the weird strands of islands that make up these countries, we have these innocent-looking lakes from above. Jump in and wow, that is a lot of jellyfish. This thing is called the golden jellyfish, and its sting is so mild that you have to be a weak organism to be moderately injured by it. Hey, guess where the golden jellyfish lives? Out of everywhere ever, these lakes are the only known places where golden jellyfish naturally live. And I'd say with the amount of golden jellyfish there are in these lakes, it makes up for the lack of them everywhere else in the world. Austria is probably one of the most scenic places on Earth, with its high perpetual blade-like mountains encompassing and peaceful forests and lakes. The top lake I found is this one named Grüner See, or Green Lake. It's a normal looking lake, right? And for the most part it is, but only periodically throughout the year. In the summer, the snow from the mountains melts into this lake and the lake's water level subsequently rises. All the benches, bridges, and happy little trees in the park sink beneath the H2O. Scuba diving here must be so surreal. Seeing everything underwater must give this place a peaceful and/or post-apocalyptic feel. Australia is thought of the land of otherworldly things.
Animals native there are crazy and not anywhere else, and it has this strangely large open area in the middle.
Few organisms are skilled enough to live in.
The outback. Hillier Lake is a great example for how Australia is Earth's alien landmass. The lake is pink. It's located on Middle Island, which is not really in the middle of anything, right below Western Australia. The opaque pink pool of the southern hemisphere is 600 meters long when viewed horizontally, and is completely surrounded by trees and filled with fish.
The Kirby-shaded hue originates from a microorganism by the name of Dunaliella salina, which it does a thing and voila, pink. Good job again, Australia. China is crazily geographically diverse, so it's bound to have a cool lake that made it onto this list, right? No. Oh, actually, yeah. There are many bodies of water in Shusaigao National Park, such as Pearl Shoal Rapids, Five Flower Lake, Five Color Lake, Panda Lake, Sleeping Dragon Lake, Mirror Lake, Arrow Bamboo Lake, Long Lake, and Nero Long Falls. All of the ones I just mentioned I gave an above average score for scenery, and if you'd seen any of these, you'd know why. Although the craziest might be Five Flower Lake. It looks like something out of Yellowstone, Wyoming, except you would survive swimming in it because Five Flower Lake isn't a supervolcano. But then Mirror Lake is here with its mirrorage, and there's cool waterfalls in many of them. This whole area, this 720 square kilometer chunk of land, that whole thing is number 5. Haseeno is like a Latin American term for a hole in the ground that leads to a cave full of water.
Anyway, Mexico has a bunch of these floor holes and are actually pretty interesting by themselves, like the Zachi cenote, Soitun cenote, Zaquecan cenote, and even I Kill cenote. Although these ones are really cool, the coolest natural feature is found in this one, which you can completely miss while driving along its apparent road. While the Angelita cenote may not have as fun a name as the other ones, or be as big or even underground really, name any other place in the world that has a river underwater.
Well, kind of. It would be a bit redundant to say water is underwater, right?
The river is more of an optical illusion. This cloud is actually just a bunch of hydrogen.
Above the cloud, the water you see here is all fresh water, but the thing is if you dive below the cloud, it's not only salt water, but it's also twice as deep. The differences in salinity I just think adds to the idea that this could be considered an underwater river. Canada, while it is a large piece of land, I think I should mention that it's pretty much one big puddle. Zooming in on Google Maps will show you just how many lakes there are here. So yeah, there are a few lakes I ran into from Canada while I was researching for this top 10, but there's one in particular that was crazy. Abraham Lake.
This is the frozen bubble phenomenon, and you will see this all the time in Abraham Lake.
The reason bubbles mysteriously rise is because something down below is decomposing.
But as the bubbles rise, the temperatures drop and the bubbles freeze mid-air. Mid-water. And it's not like one bubble goes up and freezes and that's it. No, huge amounts get stuck behind each other and form these pillars like caterpillars of frozen methane gas. And it looks cooler than it sounds. If you get the right angle, it looks like an odd space painting or something because the water below is incredibly dark. It makes for a beautiful scenery and a flammable lake. If you've seen Venezuela on a map, you may have noticed this hairpin-shaped lake over there. That's number 2 on this list. Probably the biggest lake on this list is also the angriest, as there is a seemingly endless lightning storm here. For more than 250 days a year annually, immensely large amounts of lightning makes contact with Earth's surface.
How immense?
Let's just say during one of these really rough light displays here, more than 40,000 lightning bolts can stab the water in just one night. The lightning here is also abnormally strong, as a bolt from Maracaibo Lake can reach an estimated average of 300,000 amps of electricity compared to the normal 5 to 20,000. The amount of electrical energy that is generated here if 40,000, 300,000 amp lightning bolts hit Earth in one night is enough energy for every individual in these highlighted countries to have a personal working window-sized air conditioner for 24 hours. I don't think I've ever been afraid of lightning. If anything, I enjoy watching the sky light up when it strikes, but I think moving here would be kind of risky. And how anything gets to sleep at night when lightning is this loud and bright, I have no idea. Have you heard of Medusa? Medusa is a Greek mythological character that has live snakes for hair, and when you look into its eyes, you freeze to stone. Somehow.
Anyway, in the eastern African land of Tanzania lies a lake.
Natron Lake. What's so special about it? Despite the fact that sometimes it looks red, the lake also turns things into stone. That is not a joke. Look at this beautiful art.
Formed from a random lake in Tanzania.
Master sculptor. Admittedly, I might be a little misleading. It doesn't turn things to stone immediately like Medusa. It's a gradual effect, and these animals probably fell in and never got out, unfortunately. The lake temperature can reach 41 degrees Celsius, 106 degrees Fahrenheit, or 314 degrees Kelvin, which for most animals is just a little too hot. The lake is landlocked in the sense that it doesn't empty out into an ocean, meaning the crazy chemical stuff stays in the lake and makes it have this weird special power. This is a lake that's much better off from a distance than up and close. So yeah, those lakes were pretty cool, and hey, like how the island video inspired this video, maybe this video will inspire another geographical feature of Earth Top 10. Anyway, happy birthday if your birthday is today. I hope you enjoyed, and Zashin!